Perception influences your life in every way. So today we are going to understand what is perception, how it's built, and we are going to play a little bit together because I have a small practice to propose to you. So what is perception? Perception is how you see the world, but also it's your truth. You were born a blank canvas, and as you grew, people put a little bit of paint on your blank canvas. Those are your systems, those are your beliefs, and this is running your life. As you grew, all these experiences, all this touch of colors is making you and how you see the world. And that's unique to you. When I say that perception is your truth, it's because only you can see a situation the way it is. If you ask somebody else how they perceive that same situation, they will tell you something totally different. And this is why sometimes in arguments, we always look at the two sides of the story, because the way you see something is not the way the other one is seeing it. And therefore, everybody has their own truth because they see the situation in their own unique ways. Perception is also mixed with imagination. If we take the example of someone very anxious, their perception is that something bad might happen, or they anticipate something a little bit more dramatic than the reality. They will have their mind at play, imagining a scenario just based on anxious beliefs. And your beliefs create your perception. I'll give you another example. You wake up in the morning and you just feel it's gonna be a bad day. Believe me, it's gonna be a bad day because our brains want to be right constantly. It's gonna look out there for things to confirm that belief. So when you're waking up in the morning and you decided that today is a bad day, it's gonna be a bad day because your brain will want to be right and to confirm with your environment that your belief was indeed a fact. But it's not always true, because there are facts in the world, but there are also how you see it, and that is your perception. So imagination and perceptions can be sometimes a blurry line. And to explain this, I'm going to present you a small practice. In my hand right here, I have an image. I am going to describe this image, and I want you to imagine this image. Then I will show it to you, and we will see how what I have described created that image in your head and the reality of what is the image. I'm going to describe this card with as many details as possible, and you will have to imagine it. This scene is happening at night. I can tell because on the top of the image there is a dark sky that's gray in color, and you can see crescent moon, white in color, and some dots representing the stars, also white in color. Under that sky there is a hedge that's taking all the middle section of that image. It's having a lot of small leaves. It's green in color. On the first third of the card is a ground that is beige in color. Maybe it's soil, maybe it's not tiles, it looks, with a bench in shape of a kind of a bridge, with the bottom being rounder and the top being straight. And a lady is laying on top of that bench. She has blonde hair. She's wearing white clothes. She looks peaceful. She has one knee bent and one leg extended. She's barefoot. On that extended leg, there is an owl on it. The owl is also white and gray. The scene looks quite peaceful. There's not too much going on. That's pretty much it. I guess with all these explanations, it gave you an idea of how it looked like. So now I'm going to reveal the card. Before I reveal the card, I want to touch on something. I gave you many details of that image, and your mind will fill those gaps with assumptions, with bias and expectations. Now, this is happening in your everyday life. We assume before seeing the full picture. And now it's the time to show you the card. Is this what you have imagined in your mind? How close were you to that reality? Of course, I could have described that card in so many other different ways. I could have given more information about how it was drawn. Maybe I could have mentioned that it seems it's with pencils and not painting, for example. There's so many ways that I could have described the card, but the reality is, in your everyday life, you will not always have all these exact details. And that's why, before revealing the card, I emphasized on the fact that we only can assume a certain number of informations to fill those gaps, to fill the gaps that some information are just missing. Also, your perception of the card, the end result, will resonate more with what you're going through right now in your life. So, how to use that practice in your daily life and how to approach reality more clearly. Question your initial perceptions before having any assumptions. Just deal with the facts and what you have in your hand. Maybe you do need more information to assess a situation. You will see that every single person will see that card or will describe that card differently. That shows us that there are always more than two sides of every story. And how would you have described that card? Please let me know in the comments, because there we will see everybody on perception and how they would have described it. The way that you would have described it is your perception of how you see this card. And there are some facts. There is a moon, there is stars, but the way you talk about it will be different from one individual to the next. And that's why I talked about this tool I'm using, metaphorical cards, in my practice as a psychotherapist, because there is so many ways that an image speaks to your subconscious mind, that it's a great tool in therapy and in self-discovery. So if you're interested about this tool, check out my video on the subject. For now, I'll see you next time. Bye!